So it is a beautiful morning here in Holly, Colorado, and I was fortunate enough to find the Miles Court Motel to stop for the night. If you're ever near Holly, Colorado, I would recommend it highly. Very sweet people. Had a nice night, and I am going to have some coffee and a little bit of yogurt, and then we are going to hit the road today and see what we can see. So, have an awesome day. So, sure enough, found something really cool. One town over from Holly is Granada, or Granada, Colorado. Granada, Colorado. And there is a museum here, so let's go see what it's about. Oh, wow. This is about the internment camps during World War II. All right, we've got hours of the museum. You can collect your national park stamp here at the museum. Yay! Okay, there you go. The hours that they're open. Now let's see what's going on. Oh my gosh. Wow. USS Arizona Memorial flag. Oh my goodness. Now, if you're not familiar, Blue Star families are families who have a son deployed, for mothers of sons deployed during war. You never want to see a Gold Star. A Gold Star mother is one who lost a son during war. And there's a poster depicting the different internment camps from 1942 to 1946. This is U.S. citizens. American citizens who were locked up in camps. Let's learn more. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the Amache Museum. I could either give you a tour if you're just interested in looking around. You already seem like you know quite a bit, so I could either just step out of your way, you look at whatever you want, or I could give you a tour.
Okay, so I am obviously a vlogger. I'm M the Adventurer. And for checking out America, we are checking out everything off the beaten path. I set my GPS to avoid highways, and so we find things like this.
Oh yeah.
So if you could give me just a brief, why do we need to come here and see this? Why is this important? And just a little bit of a taste of the museum to encourage people to come here and see it themselves. That would be amazing.
Well, to put simply, the reason why you should definitely come to places like this is because, especially these internment camps, is because put simply, this could very easily happen again, and we need to keep Americans very well informed so that they can make educated decisions about things like this, because back in the day, people weren't very educated, so they believed, well, they have different skin from me, and they look like the guys that we're at war with, so we're going to put them in camps because we can't trust them. But if they had, you know, a little bit more common sense, they would have known, hey, even the oldest people who came from Japan have been living here for about 30, 40 years beforehand. They show near absolute loyalty. The only reason that they are still considered to be Japanese citizens is because of the 1920 Anti-Asian Immigration Act, which prevented you from becoming a U.S. citizen if you were born in Asia, which went for everyone except the Japanese were especially hit hard by it because, well, they really did not have any homes, and along with that, anti-Japanese sentiment was increasing very rapidly compared to the other anti-Asian sentiments, like, for instance, Chinese, Thai, Indian. So, a lot of them just tried to stay out of the way. They built they built Japan towns all around the United States because that's one of the few places that they could actually feel safe and where they felt appreciated. And in a lot of those Japantowns, you'd meet people that barely spoke any English because they'd stay in the Japantown for most of their life because lynching was very common back then. And, you know, if you just heard that somebody got hanged on a tree in New York, you probably wouldn't want to leave your home for a couple of months.
Yeah, probably. So I see you have lots and lots and lots of artifacts here.
Oh, very much so. We actually had to move from our museum across the street over here because we had so many more artifacts come in, and we couldn't even display even a fourth of these in that old museum. So
what are some of the high points? If you could give us just a little taste of some of the things not to miss.
Definitely I would look at, so here we have a lot of artifacts that were found inside of the camp. As well as donated. These are more of the lifestyle artifacts. These are letters sent out from the camp. Excuse me.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing that you have those.
We have several dozen letters. These are commencement speeches from the Amache High School.
Oh my gosh, wow. That's amazing.
These are out of order, but you get the point.
Yeah.
And and the reason why we only have the ones from 45 and 43, not 44, was because in 45 and 43, they talked about internment.
Oh, wow. So those were barred from being kept. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so very much. Something I want to highlight about the internment of these Americans of Japanese descent is how patriotic they were. They wanted to go fight, and a lot of them did. And there's a medal that was pressed in their honor. They were called the Nisei units.
So Nisei stands for second generation Japanese Americans. Ni is the word, so ni in traditional Japanese speech is two, and sei means children, so second children. And so if you look here, these are to honor each of the men. And what is depicted here is the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. And for its size, it's the most well-decorated U.S. military unit in history. Nearly 10,000 Purple Hearts for a fighting force of about 3,500 men.
Wow.
And on the back here, we have each one of the three units. So this here is the Military Intelligence Service, and they were trained in Fort McClellan, Alabama. And this is a picture of them here. I'd like to see.
Oh, wow.
So these guys did not actually see combat. They were trained as interpreters and translators on the Pacific side of the war. And their main job was to find out information from the Japanese Americans. Japanese. So if you look here, this guy in the back looks pretty white. That's because he was at Amache. He's only 1/8 Japanese. That he was still sent to the internment camp. And Executive Order 9066, which had actually sent them all to the camps, if you even had 1/16 Japanese ancestry, so if you had only one great-grandparent that was Japanese, you were sent to one of these camps, regardless of how long your family had been living in the United States. And then the other two branches, so this is the 100th Battalion, which was made up of pre-conscripted Hawaiian Japanese Americans that were conscripted before Executive Order 9066. And they went through Northern Africa and into Italy. Once they reached Italy in 43, that's when they joined up with the 442nd and were absorbed into them. The 442nd was made up of both mainlanders and Hawaiians.
Wow.
And a sort of ironic, well, darkly ironic fact is General DeWitt, the man who had actually told Franklin Delano Roosevelt to put the Japanese Americans into these internment camps, he's the man who led them into battle, the 442nd.
Wow. That's some irony, right? Blows your mind. All right, y'all, I'm not going to show you anymore. You got to get your little tushies out here and come see this amazing museum. I see they have a research library, and I know that the camp is accessible as a national park. So we're going to stop by there briefly later. But there are things like this in your own backyards, and there were multiple camps all over the country. So find one that's near you and go check it out. Well, had a bit of a problem here. Had a bit of a tip-off in some sand. So we're taking off the luggage. And wish me luck getting this back up, because there is, nobody in sight for about a mile. Who puts a watchtower on a camp of American citizens? Internees and inmates is what they called the citizens. And they were ostensibly there to protect them from the townspeople and other incursions, but the machine guns were pointed in at the camp. You're still here? Oh, because I'm supposed to remember to tell you to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell over there so that you get notified every time there's a new video that drops. And get your ass off that couch and go have an adventure.